Outrage is growing after a college student's bloody takedown by police.
Books, backpacks, and a pistol. One state wants college students to be able to take their weapons to class.
From the campus of North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro, North Carolina, this is NABJ News.
Hello, and welcome to NABJ News. I'm Wilton Jackson.
And I'm Ashley Wilson. The governor of Virginia wants an investigation after a University of Virginia student was hurt during an arrest. Earlier this week, about 1,000 students gathered on the UVA campus in support of Martese Johnson. His arrest by alcohol beverage control officers made headlines around the world after he was seen in handcuffs covered with blood. This story has exploded all over social media.
People are outraged, and as Jonathan Hunter found out, students in Greensboro have some strong feelings too.
Cell phone video shows UVA junior Martese Johnson being detained by agents of the Virginia Alcoholic Beverage Control Agency, also known as ABC. Johnson was yelling. He was face down on the pavement.
I go to UVA! I go to UVA!
Johnson is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Some fellow Kappas say while Johnson was wrong for public intoxication, he didn't deserve the treatment he received from the police.
We're thinking, maybe starting a rally at Winston-Salem State. Maybe because he's a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, everyone wear red for the brother, to say that this is enough.
Ashanti Motlin says Johnson is not the typical guy you see being arrested.
Here we have an African-American male that attends a PWI that is doing something with his life. He's not just your average statistic. He is a man of Kappa Alpha Psi. He is an honor student. He does what he has to do.
Johnson is reported to be an exceptional student and has no criminal record. The police report says he had a fake ID and resisted arrest. In Greensboro, Jonathan Hunter, NABJ News.
The University of Virginia's president is urging anyone who has any knowledge of the incident to contact Virginia State Police.
Officials in Austin, Texas want to know who has been posting racist stickers all over the city. The stickers read exclusively for white people only. It also includes Austin's logo. Officials say the stickers were put up one night last week. The mayor of Austin made it clear that these stickers do not represent the city, calling it a display of ignorance.
And some lawmakers in Texas want to give college students the right to pack a pistol on campus. Students who are licensed gun owners will be able to carry their weapons at any public university in the state. The Senate there has already passed the bill, and lawmakers in the House will get to weigh in on the issue next.
North Carolina A&T students are having problems finding parking spaces on campus. This forces some students to stay home instead of going to class. NABJ's Perriman Wright has more.
It's like playing a game of hide and seek, searching for a place to park on campus. Some days you win, some days you lose. Just ask Joshua Baggett.
It's kind of like dog eat dog to get these parking spots out here.
Motorists circle the parking lot again and again and again, hoping they'll be lucky enough to find somewhere to settle and get to class.
I'm a commuter student, and I can't walk to class, but if I don't have anywhere to park, I can't get to class.
Some students decide to sit and wait for parking spaces, and when the opportunity opens up, they take advantage. While students are frustrated due to the lack of parking spaces here on campus because of construction, they may find many more spaces off campus.
They closed one of the, big parking lots down on campus, so this one, that one, and back there is where we usually go, so it's kind of hard.
For now, it's just a frustration students will have to deal with. In Greensboro, Perriman Wright, NABJ News.
For now, students can find additional parking at the War Memorial Stadium and Bryan Fitness Central Park. And when a teacher says that grades really do count, you should probably listen up. How a high GPA could even mean more free money.
Plus, the big event this weekend that may inspire people in the Northeast to travel west.
Kids, jobs, family, you're busy, we know.
But that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice knowing what's going on.
Want more news from your neighborhood in less time? You got it. WXII 12 News at 5, 6, 10, and 11 has new content and more of it.
What that means for you is more stories and weather information to help keep your family safe.
All while not wasting your time.
That's why WXII 12 News fits your busy life.
WXII 12 News, the Triad's #1 news.
local college students will feel a pinch in their pockets this year.
Tuition and fees will increase across the University of North Carolina system. As NABJ's Dakia Virgil tells us, A&T students need to get ready to shell out an extra grand.
Getting to North Carolina A&T State University every day is no easy task for sophomore Sinclair Folk.
I'm coming from, well, it's near Madison, it's Pine Hall, and so I'm probably about 15 minutes from the Virginia border.
The University of North Carolina Board of Governors approved increases in tuition fees across the UNC system for the next 2 years. Freshman Rashonda Lloyd seems very uneasy about paying out of pocket.
I have parents that have been saving probably since before I was born. For a scholarship, to go to college, but at the same time, it's going to be something that's unexpected for them. They didn't know about it, so it definitely could impact it.
North Carolina A&T for many students is the only place they want to be. They do not want to transfer.
I wouldn't consider transferring from A&T. I love this HBCU.
What you see behind me is one of the 3 campus projects currently underway, leaving some students to wonder, are student tuition increases footing the bill? These will be reportedly used to pay for the new $90 million student union. I reached out to university administrators and have yet to receive a response. In Greensboro, Dakia Virgil, NABJ News.
The College Board says students across the country pay about $8,000 a year on average for tuition.
And good grades can mean a free ride for North Carolina high school students planning to go to college. A new House bill gives students who maintain a 3.5 grade point average the chance to go to any one of the state's community colleges free of tuition. NABJ's Elise Ferguson has the story.
House Bill 129, which would dramatically change how students pay for college, is being debated by North Carolina lawmakers.
I think that it will help student loan debt tremendously.
The bill allows students with a 3.5 GPA and up to go to any in-state community college for free.
They wanted me to go there.
Shelton Morgan, a teacher at Middle College at North Carolina A&T, knows firsthand about college debt. He believes this bill will help students.
I did incur some student loans, and I do have some student loan debt that I'm paying off. I feel like it can help people. It may not help me particularly, but I know it will help a lot of people.
If the proposal passes, some teachers say students at schools like the Middle College, which had a 100% graduation rate in 2014, could benefit the most.
Sometimes we're not afforded the opportunity if we don't take that next step in education.
If the bill isn't passed, students won't have the chance to benefit.
Students that don't tend to graduate, they have hard lives.
In Greensboro, I'm Elise Ferguson for NABJ News.
If the bill is passed, the initiative will start in July.
Spring has finally arrived. Well, that's at least what it says on the calendar.
For some of you, don't put away those puffy coats just yet. NABJ's Kelsey Nelson shows us who's getting a blast of winter in the first week of spring.
Well, believe it or not, some people may actually need their shovels this weekend. Yes, it is the first official weekend of spring, but many in the Northeast are waking up to snow on the ground. On Friday, snow covered Pennsylvania all the way up to Maine. Some spots will get up to 8 inches before the end of the weekend, and all that snow could be a problem in the weeks to come. If temperatures warm up too quickly, the melting snow could cause major flooding. It feels a lot more like spring in other parts of the country, though. Case in point, Denver. Temperatures will be 14 degrees higher than usual in the mile-high city. It will feel close to 70 degrees there today. And if you think that sounds nice, listen to this. In Los Angeles, it will be 88 degrees, the perfect weather for the beach. But that warm weather has a downside. Forecasters are worried that if it's too dry, that could spark wildfires. But right now, that's unpredictable. Right now, Ashley and Wilson, let's just enjoy this warm weather that we're having.
Investigators say a case involving a black man found hanging from a tree may not have been a hate crime. We'll have new information on that story.
And shopping on sites like eBay and Craigslist can be cost effective, but are they safe? What could save your life when meeting a potential buyer?
When I walk into the WRAL News Studios every day, this is the first thing I see. WRAL, focused on people and community.
It's not a slogan or a gimmick. It's a reminder of why we come to work every day. For you.
You are our priority, the core of who we are and what we do.
You are the compass that guides us. Our commitment is to inform and protect you every day. always with heart and compassion, with integrity and honesty.
You have high expectations for us to be everywhere you choose to get your information.
It is our privilege to serve you, and it's a responsibility we never take lightly.
People and community, you are who we are.
Every single day, we are WRAL.
Police in Mississippi no longer suspect foul play in the death of a man found hanging from a tree. Family members identified the victim as 54-year-old Otis Bird. Police say they found a bedsheet tied around his neck and tied to a tree on his family's property. Bird had been missing for 3 weeks, and the autopsy results are due next week.
A fraternity at North Carolina State University is now suspended after the discovery of a pledge book filled with rape jokes and racial slurs. The national chapter of Pi Kappa Phi is now investigating. Workers at a restaurant near the campus in Raleigh found the notebook. One of the comments inside said, quote, "It will be short and painful, just like when I rape you." Another comment said, "Man, that tree is so perfect for lynching." The national chapter says these comments will not be tolerated.
Should the United States make voting rights mandatory? President Obama tossed around the idea during a town hall event in Cleveland, Ohio last week. We spoke to North Carolina A&T students about the possibility. NABJ's Nicole Saxton has the reaction.
For North Carolina A&T State University, Junior Carol Shepard says voting isn't a privilege, it's a right that she exercises every opportunity she gets.
It involves everyone. Nobody's left out of the equation.
Although some people recognize the benefits of voting, others think it's pointless, even suggesting politicians are working more for themselves than the people.
I feel like usually most people really don't care because they know their voices aren't going to be heard anyway, so there's really no point of them voting.
Wednesday, while speaking to a civic group in Cleveland, President Obama suggested that voting should become mandatory in the U.S.
In Australia and some other countries, there's mandatory voting. It would be transformative if everybody voted.
If the president's idea on mandatory voting were to become law, this can make voting easier for people who faced restrictions last year.
Who am I to complain about him when I didn't? When I had the choice to vote and I didn't.
A new idea in America that would make doing your civic duty a requirement. In Greensboro, Nicole Saxton, NABJ News.
The Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance reports that at least 26 nations have similar voting right laws, including Australia and Belgium.
We're learning a woman in Colorado who had her baby cut from her womb has North Carolina ties. USA Today reports that Michelle Wilkins once lived in Boone, Raleigh, and Greenville. Investigators in Colorado say another woman attacked her Wednesday when she answered a Craigslist ad. Once Wilkins met the so-called seller, her baby was cut from her womb. Police arrested Dynell Lane after she confessed to the attack. Her bond is set for $2 million. Now, the rule of thumb is buyers beware when you're purchasing items on Craigslist.
But it's not just about good deals or bad deals. It could also mean life or death. NABJ's Zyra Savage has more.
We were supposed to meet there, and I just didn't like the vibe he was giving off.
Nico Bryant was excited to hear his days of riding city buses would soon be over after finding his first car on Craigslist.
It was about $1,200.
But the deal fell through.
Even with my dad and my brother somewhere, I didn't feel comfortable going to someone else's house, like it could be a setup or anything.
Bryant was concerned about his safety, and for good reasons. Greensboro police tell me 8 people were robbed while trying to buy items from Craigslist. And this isn't just a local problem. In February, Atlanta station WSB-TV reported college student James Jones Jr. was robbed and fatally shot while trying to buy an iPhone 6 from a Craigslist ad. Back here, Greensboro police also tell me the popular site is being used by crooks to take advantage of eager buyers by luring them to unsafe places. Instead,
police say you should come here to their parking lot to buy something online. They say the parking lot is highly visible and safer, but if something bad does happen, help is right here.
My dad, he always told me that you should meet him at the police station because, I mean, if they ain't got nothing to hide, then they can meet you at the police station, right?
Advice that potentially saved Bryant from becoming another Craigslist victim. In Greensboro, Zyra Savage, NABJ News.
Craigslist encourages users to meet in public places when buying or selling items and have a friend come with you if possible.
You could be getting a big check from Target if you were a victim of its massive data breach. According to court records, the retailer set up a $10 million fund to settle a lawsuit. Target is offering up to $10,000 to customers impacted by that holiday season hacking in 2013. That's when the thieves accessed the personal information of nearly 110 million people. Not everyone will get the money. To even be considered for a refund, customers must first prove they were victims of the data breach. Then, Target would likely reimburse victims for lost time.
It's not just a swim tournament, it's a money-making machine. Coming up, the big game Greensboro could get from competition this weekend.
And he's one of the biggest names in music, but not everyone is a fan of Kanye West. How protesters want to stop this artist from performing at a festival.
Kids, jobs, family, you're busy, we know.
But that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice knowing what's going on.
Want more news from your neighborhood in less time? You got it. WXII 12 News at 5, 6, 10, and 11 has new content and more of it.
What that means for you is more stories and weather information to help keep your family safe.
All while not wasting your time.
That's why WXII 12 News fits your busy life.
WXII 12 News, the Triad's #1 news.
Welcome back to NABJ News. Immigrants in Greensboro no longer have to hide their identity from law enforcement and businesses.
Community IDs allow them to show proof of their status. NABJ's Kelsey Nelson shows us how that's possible.
Faith Action International House has long been recognized for their work in the community. Their mission is to serve, educate, develop diverse leaders, and to build bridges in the community.
I love their mission, so it got me really interested. And today I'm bringing in food from donations from my sister's birthday party.
One of their initiatives under the Immigrant Assistance and Resource Center is to help immigrants fit into mainstream society.
It's a way to identify myself to police officers and everywhere I go.
Before this program, it wasn't easy for those from other countries who had no form of ID.
Of course, it's very tough and very hard and for living, and they are like hiding themselves. They cannot live under the sun and contacting or make communication with other people.
Faith Action, in collaboration with the Greensboro Police Department, have issued more than 1,750 identification cards. This is not to be confused with the state-issued ID. With the community card, however, non-U.S. citizens can now have access to services such as check cashing, purchasing furniture, and children's enrollment in after-school activities. Not only hand out ID cards, but also try to create a lasting connection with their Greensboro non-natives.
Here at the Mother Life Center right behind me on Monday, March 23rd, 2015 will be where the next resident ID drive will be held. In Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm Kelsey Nelson for NABJ News.
Greensboro is the first city in the South to accept newly issued community IDs.
The city of Greensboro may come out as the big winner when the NCAA Women's Swimming Championships come to an end. NABJ's Misha Caldwell explains why.
This is my first year out here. This is her first time going to NCAAs, so our first time in North Carolina.
Leslie Dornick's thousands of miles from her California home. She is here in Greensboro supporting her daughter as she competes in the NCAA Swimming and Diving Championship. It's a very big deal for the city.
It has a huge impact on Greensboro from an economic perspective. The Convention and Visitors Bureau estimates a $2.7 million economic impact from this event alone. And that puts the economic impact of the Aquatic Center, since it opened in 2011, at over $80 million. So it's been a huge win-win for this community.
And swimmers from Hawaii to Tennessee are taking advantage of the Triad's attractions.
We're staying right down the street, actually, and it's very nice. We're going to be there for about 5 days. Most of the time just coming to the pool and socializing with the parents, but we noticed there was a nice big mall by the Sheraton, so we're going to do that too.
Oh, I'm thrilled that it's here in Greensboro. I mean, I really am. There is shopping here, there's food, it is close drive, things are easy to get to.
So you have people from all over the country coming to Greensboro for the very first time, and we're really excited to host them and hopefully have a next great few days here at competition.
And there's more collegiate aquatic action on the way for Greensboro from the NCAA. Event planners say they will be back in 2017 and 2018. In Greensboro, I'm Isha Caldwell, NABJ News.
If you can't make your way to Greensboro for the championships, you can watch it from the comfort of your home via live stream or on ESPN3. In life, you have to prepare for pretty much anything.
And if you're an athlete, your life can change in the blink of an eye. NABJ's Princess Streeter has more on your sports news.
Well, I've got some tough news for you OKC Thunder fans out there. NBA star and reigning MVP Kevin Durant could be off the court for the rest of the season. The Oklahoma City Thunder announced that it's removing the MVP from all team activities. Durant has been struggling with the lingering foot injury all season, and he's recovering from surgery earlier this year. But he's already missed more than 40 games this season. Zeus McClurkin is coming back to where it all started. The rookie Harlem Globetrotter will play with his team Sunday in the Greensboro Coliseum. McClurkin is a North Carolina A&T graduate, and while he was at A&T, he made the basketball team as a walk-on. But his journey didn't have a successful start. He was cut from every team from 7th until 10th grade. But now McClurkin encourages young athletes to be coachable and dependable. And now to a photo you just have to see. Cincinnati Bengals Devon Steele just found out his daughter is finally beating cancer, and he shared the news with this Instagram picture. So what do you do when you beat cancer? You flex. Steele also re-signed his contract with the Bengals Thursday. So you could say it's turning out to be a good week for the defensive tackle. For support, you can hashtag Leah Strong. Back to you, Wilton and Ashley.
Such a humbling story for his child, to be able to defeat cancer.
It really is.
More than 80,000 people are saying thanks, but no thanks to a Kanye West concert in England. He's playing at a festival this summer in the town of Glastonbury, but one man started an online petition and called Kanye an insult to music fans around the world. He wants the festival to replace Kanye with a rock band. Stay tuned on that one.
Remember Mr. T from the A-Team? Now he's taking his trademark mohawk and gold chains to the DIY network. He's starring in a new show titled I Pity the Fool. Mr. T will focus on renovating kitchens and living rooms. I Pity the Fool is expected to air later this year.
That's it for NABJ News. Head to nabj.org for more information about this student program. I'm Wilton Jackson.
And I'm Ashley Wilson. Thanks for watching.